All right, folks, welcome back to another market update. Sorry for the, delay on this one. I was up in Cape Breton doing a large trek with some buddies at the start of the month, and then I'm actually in Ottawa right now. So been a little delayed, but we've got the numbers here, and we'll go over them as we always do. For the first time viewers, basically on the bottom along the, YouTube bar there, you'll be able to skip to the areas you're actually interested in, whether you're looking to buy or sell, but try to just stay around for the first one, which is going to be Bedford here, because I can explain kind of what the numbers mean for everybody. So Halifax Real Estate Market update for July 2023. Pulled the numbers from this yesterday, which was August the 14th. As you can see, this is kind of the Bedford slide. So this is the area that we're pulling the data from. Looking at the Bedford stats, the first line is going to be total sales and days on market. So total sales obviously is the total sales that we saw in the month of July, and the days on market is basically an average of how long the properties sat. Very, very short would be a number of around 5. And then obviously as we go up, that means that they're sitting a little longer. Generally, the lower those numbers, it means that it's a bit more of a buyer's market, usually at the lower price ranges. Bedford obviously tends to be a little bit higher in terms of the price range. Sometimes we see properties sitting there. Now going back to those two numbers, you're going to see kind of two. You'll see for total sales 45 and then a 44. 45 was from June. 44 is from July, so on and so forth for the rest of these. So showings per listing and new listing. Showings per listing, we saw it at 6.5 for the month of July. So that's about 6 or 7 individual groups or families that went through before there was an offer accepted on that property. New listings is 50. Sale price to list price percentage, we saw 98.3%. So that means that the house is priced at $100. It sold for $98.30. So again, when we see this number up over 100%, that means that there's generally been multiple offer situations more often than not. And when it's below, the reverse can be true, but right around 98% is a sign of a pretty still pretty strong market for the sellers. Single family monthly comparison. This is our single family houses, what the average price was there. So we saw a little bit of a drop to 670,000. Again, this can vary quite a bit, because obviously in these neighborhoods there can be higher priced homes or higher priced areas and lower priced areas. It depends on the neighborhoods. Sackville and Dartmouth were pulling from a very wide range, so you can really get into the nuances of the individual neighborhoods within those areas, but this is just to give us a good overall picture. Price per square foot, again, you're going to see obviously the price per square foot for the single families there at $286. Condo monthly comparison, similar to the single family, only with condos. We saw an average of 510,000, and then the price per square foot was $324 with a slight decrease. Okay, Bridgewater, about an hour 10 minutes away on the divided highway, down by the South Shore. Total sales and days on market, we saw total sales at 5, days on market increased to 9. We saw showings per listing and new listing at 5 and 10 respectively. Sale price to list price percentage stayed even at 100%. Single family monthly comparison, we saw a pretty large uptick there at 450,000. So again, in Bridgewater, you're going to really run into some lower priced homes and then some nicer homes. Obviously, those numbers all make sense for those kind of days on market, where a $450,000 home might be a bit more expensive in the Bridgewater area. So you might see it sit a little longer. There might be fewer buyers shopping around in that price range down there. Price per square foot, we saw a increase to $308. Clayton Park and Rockingham, located just outside the peninsula there. Total sales and days on market, we saw even sales at 34, no change. Days on market went up to 15. Showings per listing and new listing was 6.5 and 28 respectively. So we're starting to see that we've kind of reached the peak of inventory, or the cycle that occurs during the year. And we'll reach that trough probably right around the end of December, and then it'll kind of restart. And every year we tend to see that kind of bell curve, if you will, of the highs right around July, June, and then the low right around December, January. Sale price to list price percentage, 97.4%. Single family monthly comparison, 585,000. Price per square foot is $270. Condo monthly comparison, we saw a little decrease there to 380,000. Price per square foot at 341. It stayed the same as last month. Cole Harbour. Total sales and days on market, 21 and 6 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, we saw 10.6 and 28. So quite a few families going through there. And obviously the listings dropped a little bit. Sale price to list price percentage looks like things started to even out a bit more in Cole Harbour. Last month we had that 104% of list price, and now we've got 100%. Single family monthly comparison, we saw an uptick of 10,000 to 505,000. Price per square foot stayed relatively the same at $255. Okay, Dartmouth, this is one of our larger areas. Again, in Dartmouth, especially in an area this big, you're going to find some nicer homes as well as some more affordable homes. Depends on where you're looking. Total sales and days on market. Total sales was 45. Days on market stayed the same as 5. So that means it's still very hot in Dartmouth, right? That's almost the sister city of Halifax. You're very close to downtown Halifax. High desirability up there. Showings per listing and new listing, 12.5 and 64 respectively. Pretty close to what we saw in June. Sale price to list price percentage was 106.2%. So still pretty significant over asks there. Single family monthly comparison, slight drop to 502,000, and price per square foot. We also saw a little bit of a drop by about $15 to $263 per square foot. Condo monthly comparison, we saw a decrease to 393,000, and the price per square foot we saw 360,000. Downtown Halifax, again, we're just pulling condos here. We're not pulling from Schmidtville, which is technically part of that downtown core, but there just isn't enough sales to really warrant putting that data in. Total sales and days on market, we saw 3 total sales, days on market at 2, so things were flying off the shelf there. Showings per listing and new listings, 2.9 and 6. Again, we tend to see less people in the condo market overall, but especially at the higher price ranges that you might find downtown. Sale price to list price percentage, 100.6%, 100.6%, I should say. And then the condo monthly comparison, we saw 900,000 there. Price per square foot upticked quite significantly by about $130 to $694 per square foot. So we don't have a ton of new build condos that have come online in the downtown core that we're pulling from there. But again, one of the, I guess, trends we're seeing with these new builds, particularly on the apartment side, is smaller square footage, smaller living space. So wouldn't be shocked if we continue to see that across the kind of condo side of things too. There's a few new build condos and they tend to be built with a little bit smaller of a footprint than you might find in some of the older ones. But you're also trading off space for those high condo fees that you tend to see in a lot of the older kind of peninsula based condo buildings. So there's pros and cons, obviously, wherever you're looking. Eastern Passage in Cow Bay, about 25-30 minutes to downtown. There's some beaches out in Cow Bay as well, which is nice. Total sales and days on market, we saw 14 and 7 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing was 7.6 and 19. Sale price to list price percentage, we saw 100%, basically even there. Single family monthly comparison, 437,000, spot 5. And price per square foot, we saw it pretty much stay the same as $284 per square foot. Eastern Shore and Lawrencetown stats. So this is kind of the northern cottage country, tends to be cheaper than what we'd find in the South Shore. A lot of different options here for everybody looking. You can get some pretty expensive waterfront properties, but you can also get some cheaper stuff if you're willing to be kind of on your own little wood lot or whatnot. Total sales and days on market, 6 and 8 respectively. Showings per listing and new listings was 4.1 and 15. Sale price to list price percentage, 96.8%. Single family monthly comparison, we saw 500,000, and price per square foot was at $265 per square foot. Okay, Enfield. A lot of building slated to occur out here. There's some building that's occurring now. This is probably one of the cheaper areas to get a new build, and you're about, depending on where you are in the area, about 45 minutes to downtown Halifax. Total sales days on market, we saw 21 and 12 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, 4.8 and 29. Sale price to list price percentage, 100%. Single family monthly comparison, 515,000, and price per square foot was 247. Again, with those new builds, a lot of the times you'll see that the developers really do not like to take price cuts because it sets kind of a new standard. Let's say you built 10 of a specific house, and on the second one, you're already taking a price cut. It doesn't set a very good standard for those buyers going forward. So when we're looking at new builds, oftentimes the sticker price is what you're going to have to pay to get them. There are obviously certain exceptions depending on maybe it's the last one, or there might be some difference with it, or whatever it may be. But tends to be with the new builds that we're seeing them go for what they're asking for, unless they do a price reduction due to something changing in the market, or maybe there's just not enough demand for them. Fall River, really nice kind of lakeside, I guess, area there. Located about 25 minutes to downtown Halifax. Total sales days on market, 8 and 22 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, 3.2 and 12. So not too many people shopping around in Fall River currently. Sale price to list price percentage is 98%. Single family monthly comparison is 860,000. Again, you're going to find some really nice homes out in Fall River as well. That was kind of the original, nice bedroom community, I guess you could say, of Halifax there in Bedford. Bedford's become kind of more of its own self-sufficient community, but Fall River still is kind of a nice little bedroom community out there. Price per square foot, $293 per square foot. Hammonds, Plains, and Lucasville. Total sales and days on market, we saw 17 and 16. Showings per listing and new listings. Showings per listings was 7 and new listings was 20. Sale price to list price percentage, 98.4%. Single family monthly comparison, we saw a slight decrease to 675,000. Price per square foot was $282. I was a little interested to see what was going to happen here with I guess this past month of July. We obviously had the fires in, I believe it was early June. So I wasn't sure how that was going to affect the numbers in terms of the demand out in Hammonds, Plains, and Lucasville. But as you can see, there's still a healthy demand there. Those numbers are all pretty healthy. And there's still a decent amount of inventory moving for that area. North End Halifax. Okay, one of kind of our, I guess, the cheapest entry point for Peninsula Halifax. Just did a pros and cons video on the North End on the channel for those of you who, I feel like the people that watch these ones tend to be my more loyal followers. So thank you very much. But going to try to do a couple more pros and cons of the neighborhoods. I feel like that's a good way for you guys to get a bit more info on, the benefits and negatives of living in the individual neighborhoods. So I'm trying to get some more of that. I also got a drone, which is cool. And I'm trying to figure out how to upload all that footage because it's a little tricky. Total sales days on market, 18 and 18 respectively. Pretty significant drop off from June numbers there, but also an uptick in the days on market, probably due to some of the rate changes as well. Showings per listing and new listings, 6 and 15 respectively. Steep drop off from 66. Sale price to list price percentage, we saw a slight decrease to 100.6%. So it's still multiple offers there. Single family monthly comparison, 496,000. Price per square foot is 532. And the condo monthly comparison, 460,000. Meanwhile, the price per square foot of the condos dropped quite significantly to $628 per square foot. Probably, I'm just thinking there, $827 per square foot. That's pretty expensive. Probably one of the new builds over on Agricola. Not Agricola. Yes, Agricola. But, with those new builds, as I said before, you get a little bit less square footage for that newness. And again, you get those lower condo fees overall as well, which is nice when you're thinking about long-term budgeting and whatnot. Sackville and Beaverbank, again, this is one of the largest areas we pull data from. Very wide range out in Beaverbank and around some of the lakes in Sackville. You can find some very high-priced homes, like Indigo Shores, for instance. That's one of our luxury kind of neighborhoods, I guess you could say. Meanwhile, in certain parts of Lower Sackville and Middle Sackville, you can find some more affordable homes. Total sales and days on market, 42 and 6 respectively. Still pretty quick there. Showings per listing and new listings, 10.5 and 53. Again, a lot of traffic. And then here we go. Sale price, list price percentage, 102.6%. Single family monthly comparison is at $500,500. And the price per square foot was $251 per square foot. Spryfield and Armdale, wide range here. Spryfield can be a little bit cheaper, good investment area. Meanwhile, Armdale also has some, it's actually just a really cool area. I should do a pros and cons video on that, I think, but I do have some Armdale and Spryfield stuff on the channel as well. Total sales and days on market, 29 and 12 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing is 7.3 and 30. Sale price to list price percentage, 99.2%. Single family monthly comparison, 540,000. And the price per square foot of the single families was $284 per square foot. Meanwhile, the condo monthly comparison, pretty significant drop off there to 350,000 from 530. I wonder what that, probably out in Armdale. Yeah. Again, certain condo buildings in Spryfield can be a little bit cheaper. Also, there's a few in Armdale that aren't overly expensive. Can really vary depending on the unit. Some of the units have had some work done. There's not a ton of new builds out in either one of those areas though. Price per square foot, we're looking at $312 per square foot. South End Halifax, the luxury South End. Total sales and days on market, 15 and 23 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, 5.1 and 20. Sale price to list price percentage, we saw 96.8%. And single family monthly comparison, big uptick here to 1.662. And I think some of my buyers may have helped with that. Congrats to them on their South End purchase. Price per square foot, we saw $570 per square foot. Condo monthly comparison, $450,000. And the price per square foot on that was $595 per square foot. I had some buyers pick up a great property in the South End, which is always nice to help them with that stuff. South Shore stats. This is kind of our true, cottage country down. I mean, it varies. It can be up to an hour and probably 20 minutes away, but it can be as close as 40 minutes away, depending on where you're looking. But you can get some really nice properties here. If you're looking to reach Halifax proper from the edge of this, you can be there in like 15 or 20 minutes. It's very close. But when you're looking to get downtown, it can be a little bit more. Tack on an extra 10 minutes there. Total sales, days on market, 16 and 24 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing is at 3.3 and 25. So again, lighter numbers, fewer people shopping for cottages in the current economy, I would say. Sale price to list price percentage, 96%. Single family monthly comparison, we're seeing 600,000 there. And the price per square foot is upticked by a little over $100 to $312 per square foot. So might be a few oceanfront homes. How many did we sell there? 16. Couple oceanfront homes that might have ticked up those numbers. Or ocean view homes as well. Sydney, Nova Scotia, capital of Cape Breton, was up, not in Sydney, but towards the left. I'm going to come out with my first ever kind of vlog on, a Nova Scotia journey. It might take me a while to get out because there's a ton of footage. I've never really done a vlog before, but hopefully it'll give you guys some cool stuff to check out, I guess. Total sales and days on market, 19 and 7 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, 7.1 and 34. Made that bold. I don't know how or why, but 34 new listings. Sale price to list price percentage, 102.4%. Single family monthly comparison, we saw 215,000. And the price per square foot was $163. Tantallon, Hubley. This is the other area that was affected by the fires, I would say. And I was thinking that would potentially be affected in terms of the demand out there. But as we see, yeah, there was a bit of a downtick, but nothing too crazy. The average price, as you see there, is staying the same. Total sales and days on market, 9 and 49 respectively. So that days on market was probably affected people couldn't really go on showings out there. They might have been a little scared to go check out some of those properties, but I'm sure over the next couple months, it'll become a bit more normalized. I did take a driving tour out there, which I'll post in the next little while, but yeah, quite significant out there. Showings per listing and new listing 6 and 11 respectively. Sale price to list price percentage, we saw 95.9%. So pretty significant from that 102 that we saw in the month of June. Sorry, I think this camera's a little there. That's a bit better. But the single family monthly comparison stayed the same at 650,000, and the price per square foot actually went up to $362 per square foot. Timberlea and Beechville, kind of home to one of our golf course, or one of, I guess, what you would consider 2 golf course communities in Halifax, the other being Glen Arbor out near Hammonds Plains there. Total sales and days on market, 15 and 5 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing is 8.1 and 21. Sale price to list price percentage is 100%. And the single family monthly comparison went up $10,000 to $520K. Price per square foot stayed the same at $291. Truro, Nova Scotia, another commuter area. Significant growth out there in the last couple of years. Well, there's the agricultural campus for Dal and the large NSCC, which is kind of our trade school. They have a campus there as well, but there's everything you need in Truro, and you're about an hour away on divided highways to Halifax. Total sales and days on market, 12 and 18 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing is 50. That was probably supposed to be 5.5. I don't think there was 55 families going in through every listing. And if there is, that's a sign that everybody should know. New listing, 29. So actually pretty significant uptick in the amount of inventory that came on there that month. Sale price to list price percentage, we saw 96.6%, pretty much the same. And the single family monthly comparison went down by 40,000 to 307,000. So Truro, you're going to find some bit more bang for your buck, right? You're a little outside of the city, still within striking distance. Airport's kind of right in the middle of Halifax and Truro. So if you're thinking about working in the airline industry, that may be an option for you. Price per square foot is $198 per square foot. Okay, last 2 here. We got West End Halifax. Again, one of my favorite neighborhoods, the neighborhood that I grew up in. So I'm biased. Total sales and days on market, 13 and 9 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing is 7.5 and 18. And then the sale price to list price percentage is 98.6%. Meanwhile, the single family monthly comparison is $902,000. And the price per square foot is $433. So, generally we see those numbers in the West End hovering right around 750,000. So there was obviously a couple pieces of inventory that ticked those numbers up quite significantly, but price per square foot didn't change that much. All right, finally, we got Windsor, Nova Scotia. So as you can see, divided highway there. This is kind of our breadbasket of the province. Wine country down there. You got Acadia just in Wolfville, which is kind of that little thing where you see the Ville up in the left corner. It's a beautiful little town as well. I'm going to try to film some. I got so much content I want to film and so little time, but we will film some stuff out there over the next little while. Going to do a South Shore trip here, hopefully next week. And then who knows, maybe I'll do a Windsor and Wolfville tour as well. And then I'm going to actually try to get up to Cape Breton to film a little bit of stuff out there one day, but on va voir, we will see. Total sales and days on market, 22 and 8 respectively. Showings per listing and new listing, 7.9 and 38. So pretty significant uptick there. Windsor's an interesting spot. Windsor is an interesting spot over the next coming couple of years, I think. I was there for a listing that I had, and the town's quite nice in the summer. Sale price to list price percentage, 98.8%. Single family monthly comparison, we saw 334, spot 5, $334,500. And price per square foot, 223. So a little bit of a downtick there. But yeah, okay, well, I hope that you enjoyed this little market update. Again, plan for the coming year here is, sorry, this is so blurry. I don't know what's going on, but the plan for the coming year here for some content is, again, more pros and cons videos. I'm like glowing. The a couple more neighborhood tours, maybe in some outerlying areas of Halifax, hopefully in the next little while. Might end up batching that content, which means it'll be panned out throughout the year a bit. But I'm also going to throw in some, I guess, seasonal content. So maybe a few more driving tours in the fall and in the winter and in the spring, just to give you guys a better idea for those who don't live here and are looking to move to Halifax, a bit more of an idea for weather. I mean, I might even try to do a weather video. I don't know how I'll do that, but yeah, name of the game is more content here. And then on the other channels as well, trying to really create a better system for creating some more value for you guys that are either in Halifax, looking to kind of see what's going on with either the market or just in the city of Halifax itself. And then obviously on YouTube, continuing to put out that content surrounding this stuff, the real estate data, but also, okay, this is what this city's like, this town's like, all this stuff, what are the pros and cons. I think people really like that. And then some more driving tours as well, because I think that's the other thing that the my loyal followers seem to really like, which is great, is the driving tours, just to give you a bit of a better idea for what's going around. So I always appreciate feedback for how to make this stuff better. The channel's grown quite a bit in the last year, which I'm really happy about. I try to put a decent amount of effort in here, and always, as always, the lovely Hannah, my assistant, is great at editing the videos that look like they're not edited by me, and I'm sure you can tell. But yeah, other than that, I hope everybody had a great summer, and we'll see you in the next video next week. All right, and the next one's going to be pros and cons of Clayton Park. So other than that, have a great day.